everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. We're here for another month with the June wrap up and a July TBR. I am currently in my hoodie because it's cold here, it's winter, and I thought it'd be like cozy vibes kind of thing. I read 3 books this month, and then I also have about 7 books on my TBR that I'm just really in the mood to read, so this will be great. I don't think I have a repeat from any of my other months. We're just gonna get right into it. I think you guys already know how this works, so we're gonna go through my June wrap up. So the first book that I read for June was Fourth Wing. This book has been circulating everywhere, and I had been debating on getting the paperback, which I currently have in my hands, but this has been sold at like everywhere. It's not at Big W, it's not at Kmart. I was lucky to get it at Dimmix before it completely sold out the next day, but I did transfer all my tabs and annotations into my paperback one because you can't really see it with this one, so that was probably the main purpose of buying this book. But at the same time, you know, I wanted to get the paperback. I'm not going to talk too much about this book because I do have a reading vlog for it, spoiler free by the way, which was my previous video that I had posted, so you can go watch that for all my thoughts on this book. But I'm just going to give like a quick summary and what I rated it, just a tiny bit of what I thought about the book. But this book is obviously set in a fantasy world, and it focuses more around this war college called Basgiath. Basically it is where you go to be trained and get dragons, which is really cool. I would probably not even survive past the parapet, I'm not gonna lie. Our main character Violet is forced by her mother to enter this war college even though she was supposed to be a scribe, which deals with books, and a scribe is what her father used to be, and so she's kind of following his path, but her mother's just like no, you're gonna go to this war college and you're gonna die. She didn't say she was gonna die, but she was like, you have to go to this war college because I told you to. And her mother is a commander. Don't remember what it was. I'm very terrible with names. So she goes to this war college and she meets Xaden, who is the love interest. He's very broody, he's grumpy, and he wants to kill her. That's all I want to say. I'll leave everything else up to you. I have seen very mixed things about this book, and so going into it I was very scared because it was so hyped up. I was like, I'm probably not gonna like this book because of how hyped it is. But I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. I loved this book. I gave it a 4.95 stars. The only reason it's not a full 5 and it's missing that 0.05 is because of some descriptions in this book that just doesn't hit, mainly for like the dragons, because they're only described by color and the type of tail that they have, and that's just not enough for me. I need full-on descriptions for them. I need it. I absolutely need the descriptions, and so that really fell flat for me. And also some of the world building stuff wasn't really explained that great. Some was, some wasn't. This is very fast paced. You just get right into where she's just standing to get signed in for entering the war college, and just all this stuff that happens. Love it. Love. I love a lot of characters in these books. I will say that there is, should I say it? No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna wait for you guys, if you want to read this book, to go into it and think what I'm thinking, even though you don't know what I'm thinking right now. I'm so excited for Iron Flame to come out in November. I've already pre-ordered the paperback for it. I was gonna order the hardback, but I might wait a little bit because I can't get it anywhere in Australia. The next 2 books, I'm so happy that I'm finally able to talk about these books in a freaking wrap up. I'm hitting my hand on top of the books. I did a tandem read and it took 4 months. I read Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn. Do you see how thick they are? And to do a tandem read on them, obviously can't give a synopsis for these books because they are the 6th and the 7th books in the Throne of Glass series, so I can't say anything without spoiling anything that are in these books or in other books. I did give this book 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely love this one. As you can tell, I have tabbed the hell out of this book. It was every single page I would just tab because I absolutely loved it. It is probably my 2nd favorite book in the series, but I enjoyed it very much. Aelin is my queen. Lysandra, love her. Lyde, love her. Manon, love her. Dorian, oh, just so many characters I absolutely loved in this book. The multiple POVs. You get 10 POVs in this book, and yes, I did count how many POVs there were. I swear to God, if we get more POVs in, we are going to get more POVs in Tower of Dawn. We're probably going to get like 3, 4, 5 more And then obviously we have Tower of Dawn. I know a lot of people can't really separate these books because you're reading them together, so it kind of forms into one book, but I could just easily separate them because this book was 3 stars for me. I really wanted to love this book. I know it's so many people's favorites in the series, and it just wasn't there for me at all. It was very, very slow until you got like 60% in, where 2 of the characters finally went out of this freaking castle and did stuff. So from like the 60% onwards, you just get everything. And it was just painful to read nothing because I remember really nothing until like the 60-70% mark. Then I remember a lot of the stuff. And a lot of people say to read this book because of Irene and Kale's love story, you know, see them get together and all that. And I completely agree. Do read this book, don't skip it. I'm so sad that it bored me, and it took me so long to get through this one as well because the chapters are really long in this book, so I felt like I was reading more of Tower of Dawn than I was of Empire Storms, and so that really slowed down the tandem read. Also, because I was slowing down on the tandem read when I was reading Tower of Dawn, I had to stop the tandem read like 3 or 4 times out of the 4 months because I wanted to read other books and take a break from these ones. I think I took a break from these books for like 2 to 3 weeks, and I was trying to read other books. It didn't really work, but I went back into it, and then after that I just had like positive vibes from these books, and so I just continued reading, and then I finished it this month. I stayed up until 2 AM to finish this book. Yeah, that is done. Do I regret doing the tandem read? No. Was it worth it? Yes. Will I ever do it again? No. Just no. Now that is done and out of the way for those books, let's go into the books that I want to read for July. The first book that I want to read for July is Twin Crowns. I've seen a little bit on this book. The second book did come out like probably 2 months ago, but I did end up buying it. So we're gonna hope that I do end up liking this book. All I know is that there's 2 sisters and there's a crown. One of them is royalty. The other one, something happened to her, and then she come back and she's like, hey, I'm here for the crown, I think. And I'm pretty sure there's romance in this book. I've seen some things of romance in this book. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be like more interested in seeing who wins the crown. I'm excited, and I love the cover, and I love like the gold and like the sides. It's so beautiful, and it lines up perfectly with the second book as well. It is not even summer here, but I've decided to read this book in the winter, even though I feel like it would be great to read in the summer, but I feel like by the time I get to summer, which is in December, I'm not gonna want to read this book, and that is Beach Read. This is my first Emily Henry book that I have actually bought and decided that I wanted to read, because for some time I didn't want to read Emily Henry's books. I don't know why. I think it's just I've seen a lot of mixed things where people either love the books or they hate them, and I thought, you know what, let's just pick up Beach Read. So I bought it and I'm gonna read it. I am excited because I know it's about 2 authors and they switch genres. One writes romance and the other one writes sci-fi, and so they're switching. But I've heard this book is like very deep. It's not just like all about the romance. It's very deep beyond that. So I'm gonna read this book and we'll see how it happens. Maybe I'll make a reading vlog on reading this book. I don't know. I could be just very late to the game of reading this book. I am actually very late to the game. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I also heard that Emily Henry's endings are very different from the American versions. So we're gonna see what happens. I think it's time to pick up this next book because it has been probably over a year since I read Hothouse Flower, I would say. And so I need to pick up Addicted After All. I have been procrastinating finishing this series for a very long time. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up. I'm in the mood for it. So we're gonna see if I actually read it this month. Do I think I'm gonna pick it up? Probably not, because I don't want anything emotional, because I know this will be emotional for me because I'm very attached to Lily and Laura and I love them so much. I don't want to close a chapter on their relationship. I feel like it's time to finish that series. I need to, or else it's gonna eat at me for years. And I say years because I know that if I don't finish it now, I'm not gonna really finish it ever until I'm like 80. Next book that I want to read is The Naturals. This is the first book in the Naturals series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. She also wrote The Inheritance Games, which is one of my favorite my brain doesn't work. My favorite mystery series that I've ever read. It's a close with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I don't read a lot of mystery and I want to. So as of right now, it's my top number 1. That doesn't make any sense, but anyways. But she has the Natural series that came out before the Inheritance Games, and it wasn't popular at all until people read the Inheritance Games and decided to go and read her other series, which is this one. And so I bought all 4 books without even reading this one. I'm gonna blame that they're on a sale, but I'm also gonna blame myself that I was supposed to be on a book buying ban. But every single one of the books came damaged. Can you see that right there? I don't know. And the page came ripped, and so I had to sticky tape it. I don't know if you can see it because it's sticky taped, but I did have to sticky tape a page. I get very dramatic. As soon as I see something like this on my book, immediately send it back, and it's probably really bad. I just hate when they come damaged, but I know it's from shipping and all that because it's come all the way from the US. I am very excited because I know this is very like Criminal Minds. They are a group of teenagers who have special abilities that are able to help the FBI. So they basically just knock on their door and be like, hey, can you come help us because we're useless and we need teenagers to come help us with this. So excited. I love Criminal Minds and I love my mystery and thriller and just all that stuff. So I'm very excited to read this book, and I really hope that I'm not disappointed by this. This month I said that I wanted to cry, and so I'm gonna do that by reading If He Had Been With Me. I don't know if I'm gonna cry, maybe, I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, this book has taken me forever to find, forever. And then it was finally in stores, and then it was 2 left, and then I got it. It's in a vlog. I talked about it and I showed me going to find it. Obviously, because Sarah Crowley read it and loved it, I had to go pick it up, and now I want to read it. I'm in the mood for all these books, especially this one, and so I've just been like, do I pick it up, do I not? But I put it in my TBR for this month, so I will pick it up this month. If I don't pick up any other books, it'll be this one and the Naturals and probably Beach Read. Second to last book that I want to read, I've added it onto my TBR because I don't know, I bought it because I wanted to read it, but then now I'm just like, I don't know, but I'm gonna add it onto my TBR anyway, and that is Babel. I know this is a dark academia, and at the time when this came out I was like, oh, dark academia, I love it. I'm a dark academia girly, so yes, I decided to pick up this book and I put it on my TBR finally. The words are really small, so I don't really think I'll get to this book, but one can hope. One can dream of reading all of her books on her TBR. The last book that I want to read is actually on my Kindle, because it might be on my Kindle unless I'm able to get the paperback, but that is The Summer of Broken Rules. This is Sarah Crowley's Patreon's book club pick for the month. It's sold out. I didn't think it was that popular, but it's sold out and I can't get it anywhere. If it does not come back in stock, then I'm just gonna have to buy it on my Kindle for like $16, because that's how freaking expensive Kindle books are on here. Is it $16? Hang on, I'm gonna check. Oh no, it's $10. Never mind. Yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll read for $10, you know, on it. It's still expensive for freaking Kindle. Should I say what I'm currently reading? I'm gonna say what I'm currently reading, but because I finished Empire Storms, I decided to take a break for like a day, you know, to process and to not read anything, because I feel like I non-stop read the tandem read. I decided to pick up after a day the 4th book in the Mind Deaf series, which is All the Lies. I'm reading it on my Kindle because I don't know, I feel like I read a bit faster on my Kindle and I just go back and annotate on my paperback, but I do like very mixed. So I'll go like paperback and then Kindle, paperback, Kindle, whatever. So that's what I'm currently reading. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy seeing what I had read and also what I want to read. I'm hopefully gonna get to these books. I'm really hoping that I do, because I think it'll be good. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff. Obviously, you guys would know what that is. I'll see you guys in my next video.